Pakistan has produced Asian champions, world silver medalists, fighters who have stepped into cages across Georgia, UAE, Bahrain, Uzbekistan, and beyond, and won. But every world stage has a starting point. The PAKMMAF Contender Series is that starting point, a platform where Pakistan's elite MMA athletes fight for more than a result. They fight for their future. Every performance here opens doors, international contracts, global stages, the eyes of the world's biggest MMA organizations watching closely, from this cage to the world. These fighters have already proven they belong internationally. Now they come home to Lahore to remind you why Pakistan is a force in global MMA. Fight HQ, Packages Mall, Lahore. One night that could change everything. The road to the world stage. It starts right here. Pakistan, it's time.
Ladies and gentlemen, we've seen fights happen once. We've seen fights happen twice. We've seen trilogies, but Daniel, this is the fourth time both these contenders are competing today at the Contender Series. This is going to be a wild, wild matchup, ladies and gentlemen. These guys know each and every trick in the book about their opponents. They've seen it all. They've weathered the storms. Muhib has wins over Mohiz Satti. Mohiz Satti has wins over Muhib Ullah. This is the second time they're fighting right here in the same arena. Daniel, what's your prediction about this fight? Because this is as technical as it can get.
Don't think you can have a prediction for a fight that's already happened so many times. I mean, they're pretty even on the outcomes, but ultimately Muhib Ullah is one of those guys who's so tough, so durable. He has the legendary cauliflower ear marked as well on himself, just to let you know he means business. And of course, this is one of the best prodigies to ever come out of CAC's Fight Club. Teammates with Ismail Khan, teammates with Babar Ali, teammates with Ayan, with Abdul Manan, the whole 9 yards. But ultimately has a big test ahead of him in Mohiz Satti.
The rivalry between CAC and Fight Fortress is a tale older than time itself, Daniel, as I would like to call it. Like Ali said, they've not only fought once, they've not only fought twice, not thrice, 4 times. After 4 times, I feel like it's not that you just know your opponent, it's not a story anymore, it's a whole book. And today we're going to see what happens.
100% a book that is well written ahead in front of us all throughout time, and ultimately this might be the final chapter for what is definitely one of the biggest rivalries in the amateur circuit.
Exactly your point, Daniel, and might I say, the rivalry between Team Fight Fortress and Team CACs has been going on since a very, very long time. I feel right now this is the defining moment. 4th time in a row these kids are competing against each other. Both are fighting at the highest level in the amateur game right now. This is the time where they get to prove who is going to be number 1 in this division.
Please welcome to the cage, Mohiz Satti.
A product of the Preacher's Den and the legendary Team Fight Fortress, brother of Haider Satti. This is Mohiz Satti, undoubtedly a prodigy, unlike we have seen in a long time. So versatile, so dynamic, so many tools in his arsenal. You've seen this guy quite closely, Kaim. Tell me what you think of him.
If you're a fan of MMA and you know about Sean O'Malley, you know this guy is the Pakistani Sean O'Malley. Mohiz Satti, the prodigy fighter of Fight Fortress, the younger brother of the legendary Haider Satti. And today, this just might be the final chapter in their rivalry. Let me add one more thing here. A year ago, exactly at the same time, Mohiz actually beat his opponent at the Mock in the middle. And we thought that would be the last chapter. That would be the last chapter. However, here we are, we meet again, and this time on the first ever activated Mock Contender Series.
Exactly, Kaim, exactly. And right now, we're going to be witnessing a part of history in Pakistan. Muhib is ready. He's been training with Ismail. I was talking to Ismail and he's like, this kid is ready to shoot. He's ready to take his opponent down. On the other hand, Mohiz Satti is training with legends like the Wolverine Ahmed Mushtaba, Lumi Kareem. He's got an entire team behind his back. This is going to be Rawalpindi, Team CACs versus Islamabad, Team Fight Fortress. Handing it over to Daniel Nasir Mirza.
Ladies and gentlemen, your second fight of the evening, 3 rounds of MMA action in the flyweight division. Introducing first, standing to my right, he stands 5 feet weighing in at 56.7 kilograms. He represents Team Fight Fortress and fights out of Ahmedabad, Banda. This is Mohiz Satti! And his opponent standing to my right. He weighed in at 56.7 kilograms and fights out of GAX Fight Club, representing Rawalpindi, the Zombie Muhib Ullah. Your referee charged the cage when the action begins. Samir Jai.
Man, I am so... Ladies and gentlemen, we are so excited for this one. Mohiz versus Muhib Ullah. This is going to be happening in the 56.7 kg category. This is a rivalry which has been building up for years. They fought at the same time last year. They're going to be throwing down again at the Contender Series this time. Right now, we are live, round number 1.
Up against the cage here. Almost a full round gone. Mohiz Satti getting smothered by the pressure of Muhib Ullah.
We knew CAX Fight Club was going to open up with their wrestling, and I'm sure Mohiz Satti knew about this. That's a good knee there. And a bit of entanglement. What a round.
That is the end of the round, ladies and gentlemen. Mohiz Satti, Muhib Ullah, as good as it gets in Pak MMA. If you want to talk about Sean O'Malley, I think Mohiz Ullah is like the Peter Yan, or perhaps the perfect foil in the Mirab Dvalishvili to his Sean O'Malley, able to completely neutralize all his attack just like that.
They know Mohiz Satti is a very dangerous striker, and you know what dangerous strikers, round 1, if you make a mistake, it's lights out. So pretty good game plan there by CAX Fight Club, holding him against the cage, draining him, making the arms heavy, and let's see how round 2 opens up. Well, Mohiz?
Yeah, man, Muhib Ullah did a completely brilliant job by listening to his corner. He shot for the takedown. He wasn't able to achieve it, but at the same time, he controlled the entire pace. He pushed Mohiz up against the fence, stomped the living hell out of his feet, did some significant damage to his feet. Only no other significant strike was thrown. But ladies and gentlemen, round number 2, you can expect anything. Let's see how well Mohiz actually listens to his corner and comes out this time and tries to make an adjustment to his game.
Samir Jatt, former professional fighter of PAKMMA, now referee, calls them to the center for this second round, all important second round. First round, not to be a judge here, clearly went in the favor of Muhib Ullah, but Mohiz Satti now has some ground to cover here in the second round.
Mohiz Satti, the hesitance is showing. This is what happens against good grapplers. Your arms, you start to overthink everything. One bad strike, and you can get taken down. But I feel like Mohiz Satti needs to get the hands going to gain some respect because he's only getting backed up against the cage, and that is not where you want to be.
Yeah, man, and a beautiful high kick landed by Mohiz Satti, but again, Muhib Ullah doing what he does best, pressurizing his opponent up against the cage, looking for a takedown, not being able to land any significant strikes, but then again, the control and the pressure he's exerting while pressuring his opponent to the cage is just on another level. Once he gets a hold of you, then unfortunately Mohiz Satti has no answer. Let's see how well Mohiz tries to separate, because this is what he needs to do. He has 2 minutes left in round number 2, and round number 1 went exactly the same way as it's happening right now.
Up against the fence, all the pressure in the world, up against Mohiz Satti. This is not how you want the fight to go if you are Mohiz Satti or perhaps the viewer, but for Muhib Ullah, this is the perfect game plan. He is trying to complete that takedown, so far unsuccessful.
Mohiz Satti again on the takedown defense, but he needs to start getting a little offensive here. He needs to give a little submission threat, maybe hit him with the knee, make some space. Good foot stomp there by Mohib. Another one. That's the Kamaru Usman special.
Yeah, man, this is a rivalry years in the making, right? 4th time these kids are competing together. And this time, Muhib has an answer for Mohiz. He's just pressurizing him. Obviously, Daniel, you know, once you're being pressurized against the cage, you're not gassing out, you're not getting that tired, but this is just making Mohiz Satti desperate to maintain that distance so he can at least land some strikes.
Yeah, but I mean, at the same time, if you look at who's getting the worst of this, it is still Mohiz Satti. Regardless of the fact that this may not be the most draining position possible, it is still definitely a disadvantageous one. He's been unable to get any offense going in this round or the last, and so far it's all Muhib Ullah.
Great game plan here by Cax Fight Club. One of the best in the business, if not the best. And you can see the strength difference is apparent compared to last year, where I feel like Mohit from TFF had the upper hand. But
I would imagine perhaps Samir Jatt's looking at when they ought to separate these guys. I know the foot stomps are there, but that's pretty much the only significant damage inflicted on Mohiz Satti.
Yeah, man, and the thing about Mohiz Satti is he's really good on the ground as well, you know, but the strength which he has, and he takes Muhib Ullah down after all the effort Muhib is putting through since the past 2 rounds.
Yeah, and I mean, that's interesting. If you're the judges, how do you score that round? Like, the entire time, it was Muhib Ullah clinching up against him, and then in the end, it is Mohiz Satti who scores the takedown. So do you go for significant impact, or do you go for duration? It is an interesting riddle that has been presented to the judges here so far.
this is not football, this is not basketball where you can score a goal or a basket. Judging MMA needs to be, if not, it is the hardest sport in the world to judge, and this round shows it. Who do you score for?
Man, I score both rounds right now for Muhib Ullah. He's been the one who's been, putting in the control. And ladies and gentlemen, this is what we're reminding you what Contender Series is. Contender Series is showing Pakistan's true talent, where champions can be built. They can be given an opportunity to compete internationally at the IMF, right? Turn pro, go to Brave, go to these international promotions, make a name for Pakistan. Because not a lot is being done otherwise in sports in Pakistan. But MMA is a Gen Z sport which is rising, which is producing its results. We're getting in medals. And this is, ladies and gentlemen, the round number 3, the last round of fight number 2.
Of course, Pakistan Mixed Martial Arts Federation under President Umar Ahmed has done excellent to produce talent like this that has gone on to the international stages to score these medals. But let's see which one of these young prospects
can solidify themselves as the next in line to get opportunities as such. So far, though, not a promoter's dream, but a technical fight fought by Muhib Ullah.
Mohiz Satti using his feints. Ooh, that's a good body kick. He's trying to set up the head kick, the Mohiz Satti special. He needs to keep moving, keep feinting. He's doing excellent.
Gets a bit startled by that kick himself there. Ultimately, that's the name of the game. Muhib Ullah showing that he can pressure at any situation. Mohiz Satti backing up.
You would think Mohiz Satti would have the striking advantage, but that's what happens against a good wrestler. Your hands start to get heavy, and you start overthinking everything. And Ali.
Yeah, man. So what you're going to be doing is you're going to be focusing. What Mohiz needs to do is he needs to circle around. He needs to start landing some strikes. He's giving Muhib a lot of confidence for going for the takedown, which Muhib just did, right? I don't see Satti opening up at all. What this kid is capable of, he's not doing it right now at all.
Yeah, and as your coach, as a coach, you would be disappointed in that because you have so much to show, but you don't show it. Ultimately, it is so far just this position that Muhib Ullah has relied on for the first 6 minutes and now continues to do so here in the third round.
We all know Mohiz Satti is capable of much more than this, but sometimes you have an off day. Could this be an off day for Mohiz Satti, or is it just a difference in skill gap? Maybe at the end, Muhib Ullah gets the last laugh in their rivalry, or maybe Mohiz Satti can pull off an upset. You never know.
Look, if he wanted to pull off an upset, he needs to build a base. He needs to at least set up his shots, but Muhib is not giving him a chance to even breathe. Once he gets a hold of him, it's all over for Mohiz Satti. And I think this might be the last time we're seeing these two compete at the same time.
That's good from referee Samir
Yeah.
Khan. I like that. Separating them due to lack of action and activity. But ultimately, you are right. It is the prerogative of Mohiz Satti to separate himself from those clinch positions. And he's done a poor job of that, to say the least. Unable to completely have any kind of an answer to the clinch offense of one Muhib Ullah.
In the last moments of the fight, nothing big from Mohiz Satti, and he needs the miracle.
Miracle indeed. Don't know if he's going to get it, but he's throwing hands and feet now.
Yeah, man. Now Mohiz is opening up what he was supposed to do a while back. Goes for the takedown. Good defense by Muhib. And, oh, Muhib ends up on top. Ladies and gentlemen, we are done with 3 rounds of this fight.
Going to be an interesting situation on the judges' scorecard. Let's see how they score it. Is it Muhib Ullah or Mohiz Satti? Both in their minds have a case, both of them on top of the fence as we go to the judges' scorecard. Boys, you have something to break down.
You gotta show some threat. You gotta wrestle back. You gotta throw some strikes. You can't be against the cage the whole time and expect the judges to give you the decision. That's my takeaway from this. Good fight put up by both gentlemen. We have Mohiz Satti and Muhib Ullah, probably their last match together. I'm sure they both are grateful for their journey. As we move towards the octagon interviews.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards for a decision. Judge number 1 scores it, 30-27, Muhib. Judge 2 scores it, 29-28, Mohiz Satti. Judge 3 scores it, 29-28 for your winner by split decision. The Zombie, Muhib Ullah!
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here with the winner, Muhib. ये 5वीं दफा था कि आप दोनों एक 8वीं दफा था कि ये दोनों amateur fighters पाकिस्तान के एक दूसरे के साथ लड़े हैं. You came out on top. आपकी consecutive maximum wins है. कैसा महसूस कर रहे हैं जब आप एक बंदे से इतनी दफा लड़ चुके हैं? किस गेम प्लान के साथ आप अंदर आए थे?
सबसे पहले अस्सलाम वालेकुम. अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह ये मेरा 8वीं दफ़ा है. एक दफ़ा जीते 7 दफ़ा जीता हूँ, तो अल्लाह का लाख लाख शुक्र है. तो एक दफ़ा जो उनसे जीता था वो अपना बदला लेना था। और सबसे पहले मैं अपना चारों उस्तादों का शुक्रिया अदा करता हूँ। सबसे पहला नासिर खान यूसुफजई और कोच नेमत और कोच सलमान और कोच आमिर। थैंक यू कोचेस।
Ladies and gentlemen, your winner, 8 fights done with the same opponent, Muhib Ullah.
Pakistan has produced Asian champions, world silver medalists, fighters who have stepped into cages across Georgia, UAE, Bahrain, Uzbekistan, and beyond, and won. But every world stage has a starting point. The PAKMMAF Contender Series is that starting point, a platform where Pakistan's elite MMA athletes fight for more than a result. They fight for their future. Every performance here opens doors, international contracts, global stages, the eyes of the world's biggest MMA organizations watching closely. From this cage to the world. These fighters have already proven they belong internationally. Now they come home to Lahore to remind you why Pakistan is a force in global MMA. Fight HQ, Packages Mall, Lahore. One night that could change everything. The road to the world stage. It starts right